Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Leo October 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of readings for many of you over the course of the last month from different countries over FaceTime and Skype. And if you might be interested to see what's involved in a one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me, just check out the information that's below. Now, separately, I've also done healings for many people from different countries. Now, my sole contract is that although I charge for readings, my sole contract is that healings must be done for free and for me to get no benefit from it. That's how it works. And so if you or someone else wants to have a healing, check out the information below. There's no charge, there's no obligation, you won't be sold or recommended anything. It is what it is. Now, it's great to see the subscribers again. Thank you for inviting me into your home. I really do appreciate seeing you and joining you each month like this. Those that I haven't seen during the month, of course. Now, we're going to take 5 cards. That's all we need. Now, you know there are no video advertisements in this content, don't you? There's the Page of Wands. So you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted by video advertisements. Ah, what a great card. There's the Empress. Beautiful image on that. Wait till you see this. There's the Knight of Wands. Hello, Knight of Wands. What do you have to say? Well, we'll see in just a moment. There is the Ace of Pentacles. There's something here, shall we? What about you? You go on the top and then I'll take you, shall I? There is it's the 9 of Swords on the way out. Well, why don't you come sit down next to me? We shall have a good close look at the artwork on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Let's have a look at this first card here, because I like the image on it, and isn't it a beauty? This is the Empress, of course. And what do we see in here? Isn't that a fantastic picture, don't you think? Don't you love the way that looks? Anyway, in her right hand, she holds a rose-colored stone etched with the symbol of Venus, because Venus is all around her here. Love, beauty, relationship. Also money and finances as well. All very well aspected. And in her left hand, she holds a scepter, I suppose. Now, both of those things together are symbols of her power and her attractiveness. Now, on her head is a crown of stars, 12 of which I suppose represent the connection to the zodiac and to the seasons, of course. And there's a 13th there, which I am assuming symbolizes her connection to mystical things, to the mystical realm. Now, she is pregnant with life, pregnant with ideas, and has an enormous desire within her. She is the embodiment of divine feminine energy. Now, the Empress she's standing there with what looks like a field of ripe summer wheat. The forest, which is over here, I suppose, that is the thing of fall. I think that represents fall or autumn over her shoulder. And the green spring is to her left. Now, there's an ever-present energy which is blowing unseen through her hair. Now, the sky and the earth are her domain. The union of the body and the mystic mind is her ecstasy. Now, I've pointed out the various aspects of that image there, but with no other card in the tarot is it more important to disregard the parts and to concentrate upon the whole. You see, the Empress embodies and commands the feminine in all of its forms. Her form and surroundings are marked by beauty and wholeness. You feel a sense of well-being in her presence, taking part in the harmony of her being. But her beauty is not restricted only to the externally visible things. Her femininity is fully evolved on all levels of her being, giving her a special radiance. She is the mother. She is the lover. She is the ruler. She is the seer and the mystic at the same time. And her strength rests in the unifying of the highest spiritual values with the lowest material qualities. She's about love in all of its giving and receptive aspects, creativity and fruitfulness, understanding and wisdom. Now, I call her the daughter of the mighty ones, and rightfully so, because she is bringing into your life beauty, love. For the ladies there, a tremendous sexual attraction to other people you will have, and there's a tenderness and a motherliness around here, wisdom, and inner and outer wealth. You'll be able to fulfill your potential at this time, and I think there could well be some successful business opportunities around. I must say, get, for obvious reasons, the sense of pregnancy, which is something that you'll hear here. And you'll be in touch with the beauty of your life. Now, you may well find that you are exploring a relationship with your mother, or you may be a mother, and you are providing maternal advice to children, or you are a mother-like figure to somebody else. And you will be nurturing yourself as well as other people. Now, I think that there is actually here you will be drawn to nature, I think, and you'll be seen as being a natural leader here, and there'll be a great degree of that maternal feeling around you, and you might be quite service-oriented, I think, here. And I don't think that anybody will be able to say that, oh, you are definitely intellectual or definitely emotional during this time. You won't be able to be pigeonholed, you see. And there is a time of balancing your emotions, is what I see, but very highly creative. Now, the beauty that you see in others, of course, is that attracts you to them, is a beauty that you carry within yourself. And I think that you're in a process of unfolding and evolving your femininity. Now, this might be the right time, as I say, to work through and resolve any conflicts which relate to mothers or to your role as a mother. Now, in your life, is there a beautiful, strong woman from whom you would like to learn? Visualize your ideal woman. Write down her most important qualities. Try to find these in others and yourself, and surround yourself with beauty and abundance. To say this to yourself: I give and receive wisely. I realize that the capacity to receive is equally as powerful as the capacity to give. I value the healing power of beauty, harmony, and love, and I am filled with power and beauty. Now, what is sitting underneath this beautiful girl here? This is Nine of Swords. That's interesting, isn't it? What do we have here? And see how we shall deal with this. Now, first of all, let's look at the astrology and placed where it is. It is Mars ruling Gemini. Now, the one-pointed nature of Mars doesn't sit well with the scattered energy of Gemini. You know, people who are Mars and Gemini natives, born that way, they use words as a weapon, and they can be cruel. And I think what we have with the number 9 here, I have a mystical association with the moon, and so there is a sort of a passiveness that might be there against the onslaught of Mars, these cruel words. Now, 9 represents the cycle of returns in numerology, so there's a loop that's going on here. This is a mental issue that's going on here, where there's a mental anguish and suffering, or an anxiety, or just feeling downhearted. There's a cruelty to yourself. is what I'm getting more than anything. A self-accusation, punishing yourself, or a passive resistance. Now, this can often come about as a result of things that have happened in the past. But the thing is that with these words and energies, and you will have seen them before, of course, well, they come in late at night when you are feeling most vulnerable. Guilt, worry, anxiety, sorrow, they torture you, leaving you alone, locked in your personal prison where isolation and loneliness prevail, and you are prey to your inner demons, and they haunt you with fear and doubt. Well, the key to the Nine of Swords is to recognize, confront, and work through your pain. Now, the other thing here is that these thoughts which are looping around, in a sense, you've created your personal dungeon. All negative or actions or thoughts that you have suppressed, and that's because of the action of the moon, which is pushing things underneath, those things which you've suppressed and avoided, they come back full circle to haunt you. And these thought patterns and actions have imprisoned you in a web of circumstances from which it seems impossible to free yourself. Well, your tears which come around at this time, have no fear about tears, because tears water the gardens of your heart. Now, the most potent thoughts that come around, you see, you know your Achilles heel better than anybody else. You are able to inflict greater wounds upon yourself than anybody else could. And these things are very often a result of you feeling bad or guilty about things that have happened, or that you've done, or that you failed to do, or things that you've messed up in the past. They also relate to things that didn't work out in the past, either from relationships with people, or what people have said, or what people have done, or what happened with the business, and so on. Let me say something first about the issue of feeling bad about yourself because of things where you think you've messed something up. And it is that despite what you may believe, you can disappoint people and still be good enough. You can make mistakes and still be capable and talented. You can let people down and still be worthwhile and deserving of love. Everybody has disappointed someone they care about. Everybody messes up, lets people down, makes mistakes. Not because we are inadequate or fundamentally stupid, but because we are imperfect and fundamentally human, and expecting anything different is just setting yourself up for failure, because nobody is perfect. And as far as things that have happened in the past anyway, that other people have done, when someone does something bad to us, or that we feel it's bad to us, it's like we're on a boat on the ocean, we drop an anchor. And then we try to sail on, but then the line gets tight and we can't move forward, and then we're stuck in this loop, thinking about it. We've got to let things go, and the way to do that is to forgive. Now, I know that sounds strange, but forgiving releases the person who forgives, not the person who's done the wrong thing or the event. And people say, oh, forgiveness is difficult. Well, I look at it this way, that forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Now, I know that you may think that forgiveness means accepting what has happened to you, but I don't mean that at all. Rather, it is accepting that it has happened to you, not accepting that it was okay for it to have happened, or that it should have happened, or do you know what I mean? It is accepting that it has happened, and now, what am I going to do about it? You see, forgiving is giving up the hope, not holding on to the hoping and wishing that it could have been any other way than it actually was. Giving up the hope that the past could be any different. And when you get that, It will take you to the next level of being a more complete person, because you don't hold grudges for anything or any situation. And when you let go, the past can't hold you in a prison cell or hold you hostage to life anymore. And the other thing that I would think about is when these thoughts come round, you often feel judged by the thoughts that are coming into yourself, I would imagine. You feel that you don't have any control over it, that you are passive, that you are the victim. Well, let me tell you how to resolve that, and it is by doing this. When a troubling thought comes to you, very often looping around, ruminating, ask two questions. The first question is this: does this thought have any value? The second question to ask is, what is the behavior of this thought? Does this thought have any value? What is the behavior of this thought? And you see, you have changed from being the victim or being the object of the thought to standing in front of it and confronting the thought and say, explain yourself to me. If you don't have value to me, and if you are just causing trouble, then you're of no importance. And you continue doing that and you will starve these thoughts of oxygen and they will evaporate into the night. Now let's have a look to see all of this fire energy to go with you, and you love the fire for obvious reasons, don't you? Here is the Knight of Wands. Now what do we have here? Well, this knight has Leo all over it, and I think Cancer might be important to you as well. I don't need to go into the painting, you can see what's there. Now, this is saying to me that there is going to be an intensity about you now. It also speaks of a blossoming love, an intuitive creativity, and of you moving out of darkness and into the light. Now, he personifies the mastery of intuitive creativity. And all senses are geared towards being used for creative purposes. He trusts his intuition. And actually, he surprises others with his original ideas and solutions, just as you will do. And nothing is going to hinder or limit your creative flow. This fire of wands keeps him in motion. Now, this is likely to be, and I'm just saying that, well, it could be you, or it might be someone that you know. It's a young man, or possibly, these are gender neutral, these cards, but somebody who is swift and strong. Now, you might be quite impulsive during this time, and there's a secret violence about you, but nevertheless, you'll be generous and with a sense of humor. Now, with the heart of the lion, you will stand for honesty and integrity and what you believe to be for the common good. There is a strong sense of morality to you at this time. I think what this also does is it represents a turning point when things have been going badly, or when you've been tortured by your thoughts, which now you know how to deal with. Now you have to use his energy and enthusiasm and his drive to move on to better things. And now is the right time to do it. You must wear the same confidence he has. And he's reminding you to re-engage in life and tackle any challenges that come your way. Have a lust for life. Be like her. Have this lust for life. The fact is that you have all that you need. Don't let yourself be contained. Don't let yourself be slowed down. Life is prepared to receive you, so trust your boundless creative potential. Now, what challenges are present now in your life? Spread your arms wide and breathe deeply into your heart and say, I love life and life loves me. And then continuing in the suit of fire in the courts, we have this Page of Wands. Again, I think the art on it is quite straightforward. Now, I see Leo again here. I think Virgo and Cancer could be important to you. This is a person who has enormous passions of whatever kind. So you've been taking the advice of this card here, clearly. And I think that you might be entirely reckless in the means of obtaining gratification of your passions, and you might be quite insatiable, I'd say. You will definitely be energetic, I think very individualistic, brilliant and daring and expressive in love or in anger. And you are freed from fear now. This is a new beginning. There's optimism here with you. Now, I think that coming up from here is a person who, like you, is going to be confident, daring, exciting, quite a nonconformist in some respects, freedom-loving, and very ambitious. And you know what? People are going to love your character and energy. But I have to say this, that you could well be, at some time here, vengeful, temperamental, unruly, shallow, or even cruel, but so such is life. But this is definitely speaking of you conquering your old fears and patterns of thought. You've brought them to the surface, and you've conquered them. Although I think it does have to be said that you often learn things the hard way, don't you? But your old fears have lost their power over you, and their dead remains cannot frighten you any longer. So sit down and think about what are your greatest strengths. Play to your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. And ask yourself, what is the next step in my life? So go and find it fearlessly and say to yourself, my greatest strength is, fill in the blank, and say this also, as I accept my fear, it is transformed into love. Now, there was an ace around somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's underneath here, and let's have a look at it. And it is the Ace of Pentacles. Well, it doesn't get better than this for you. Let's have a look. And I think people who are going to be important to you are Taurus, Gemini, and Aries. Now, this is speaking to me of inner and outer richness, great success, and the unification of the body and soul, material and spirit, heaven and earth, a wholeness that's here. This is speaking also of the beginning of something tangible, real, and also prosperity and growth and a feeling of a material abundance. And I think your finances are going to be improving. Do you know, this is actually the highest manifestation card, I think. And it brings the opportunity and the energy to be successful in your life. It's promising success and happiness in all of your ventures, you realize. It really does speak of the gift of physical and spiritual connection that's always available to you. Now, the key to this energy is blending your spiritual ideas with the world of matter and creating something which is unique to you. And the gift of this is about making things happen. That asks you to pay attention to the path you are walking on. Is your mind, heart, spirit, and physical being working together in harmony? So take the time to work that out. And because this has come in, good things are on the way. The planted seeds of your dreams and visions, you see them starting to blossom into reality. I'm just getting good fortune, prosperity, abundance, and security here. Certainly conditions are excellent to launch new ideas and projects. This brings a real sense of gain with it here, of security and stability. Now, this is telling you that there is nothing you cannot be, there is nothing you cannot do, there is nothing you cannot have. You are the most magnificent, the most remarkable, the most splendid being God has ever created. For who would reject such wondrous magnificence? But you do not know who you are, and you think you are a great deal less. Well, I can tell you, you are your own rule maker, and you are the only one who can assess how you are doing. Now, all you see in the world is your idea about it. well, things will take off for it when you choose for it to. An idea becomes a thought becomes a word. Say it out loud, words have power. A word becomes an action. And if you're going to do it, start and then go all the way. Seize the opportunities in front of you now. Rejoice in them and let no power on earth take them from you. Now, I think that this ace mirrors your readiness to live a life that is inwardly and outwardly rich. All that is needed is already at hand. Give yourself up to the fullness of life and learn to use your wings. Now, what area of your life would you like to make richer? Now, work intensively on discovering and developing your potential, your inner wealth, and remain open for every form of enrichment in your life. And say this to yourself: I am in harmony with the flow of nature. Wealth is my natural condition. It allows me to express my spirituality and my creative potential in this earthly plane. Well, what a fantastic spread of cards for you. And didn't you do a good job? Well done, you.
I've got to say, I loved spending that time with you. I really did. And what a great month it looks like it's going to be for you. A few ups, a few downs, but very much on the positive side altogether, I think. That's what's going on with you. And don't you deserve it? I think you do. It really is time for you to have some good times, aren't it? Now, look, if you did enjoy the reading, would you do me this favor? And it's all I ask, that on the way out, please hit the like button, or do it now if you would. It's good for the computer or YouTube, whatever it may be. And unless you contact me privately, I'll see you again next month. And until then, remember one thing though, and it is this: that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.